Next on our list is Jessica Rogers. Oh, welcome Jessica. Okay, we read Jessica's bio. Jessica is a writer of both poetry and fiction. She resides in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. She's received a BA in Writing and Literature from Naropa University and an MFA from Long Island University's Brooklyn campus. A frequent participant in readings around New York City at venues such as La Mama, the Bowery Poetry Club, and the St. Mark's Poetry Project. Her work can be seen in the journal Downtown Brooklyn and the anthologies Poems from Penny Lane, Farfalla Press, 2001, and Buttons and Boots, Blue Leaf Press, 2008. Currently, she is completing a novel on memory while compiling a manuscript of prose poetry on the immediate. Welcome, Jessica.
I just wanted to say first, thank you to everyone who had a hand in organizing this event. Thank you, everyone, for being such a wonderful audience. I appreciate everyone being here. And thank you especially to my fellow readers. It's really great to hear, to get a chance to hear the creative voice here. I'm just going to read a couple of poems, and I'm sorry, I know I'm so short and you guys can't see me, but I can't resist sitting on this bench.
It's cushy.
It's cushy, there's a light, it's pretty cozy. I'm just going to read a few things. This first poem is it's a poem for a poet. I'm not going to tell you his name, I'm going to make you pay attention, because I say it in the poem. And the first stanza is actually some lines that I just, I call it an homage, but I flat out stole them. I just stole some lines from them. I rewrote them a little bit. Someone once told me, somewhere along my education, that all good creative writers are thieves, so I blame that person. And this is called Three Leaf Kind. I am everywhere, or rather, I start to be everywhere. A simple expansion like thirst, or an extraction like the tide. I wasn't even yet myself at the dawn of the century. My lover says, you look beautiful when you cry, and so makes me cry all the time. Did I say lover? I meant clover. I only ever chance upon the three-leaf kind. I want one of those hearts you find in poems, a still beat in breasts exposed. My lover scolds me. I talk too much, I'm too dramatic. We watch a long Polish film. A cow was hurt in the making, and the replica of a clay cottage destroyed. It's funny. I haven't returned a phone call in weeks. Something in the fan blades reminds me this, combines to form a muffled dialogue. It began when I read Apollinaire and ended too. Smoked eggs and cigarettes. Yes, that's the odor of our early afternoons. Okay. This is called A Poem About a Coward. I planned a Sunday picnic to forget you, boarded a bus to get there, but a street fair on Graham Avenue conspired to force me past our first bed, those tall windows. A detour of 4 blocks, and what reason for a street fair, but this reason surely. So I could see at least that home remained unchanged, though I must admit I didn't look long. The only thing worth remembering is that your writing suffers for it. Not the way a gutter suffers rain in anticipation, but rather as a mailman suffers a dog. You nip at the heels of words, a facade. The revelry begins in your absence and promptly, but even when you're gone, you haven't left the room. I play nursemaid to your boxes, place band-aids on your debts. I just don't want the world to end on such a downer. Mostly I dream about apples and you, and of ways to change the sheets. For the time being, like the cat, I exist excitable, jumpy, in the apartment all day, frightened sometimes even by the noises I make myself, the clatter of dishes. That's the thing, right? If you ever like scorn a poet, like you're gonna get homework. Just plan on it. Okay. I don't know if any of you guys play video games, but I have a friend who plays that video game Fable, which is like one of these long, involved video games, right? And so he was talking about how you can be like, you can choose to be good or evil when you play this game. You can choose to like be the ruler of your land. And he said this line, and I was just like, totally stole it out of context and used it to title this poem. So this poem is called, I Could Be the Bloomberg of My Own Fable. The house compared to the idea of the house. One is without pets, and the other smells of spices. The paint peels in both, the damp rots the garlic. In the paper lanterns, electric bulbs darken one after another. And the overhead, broken for a year, and I still haven't grown tall enough to fix it. I wonder why the bulbs explode so often, but I don't care enough to check the wires. The idea of the house is of sound construction. Besides, the super never answers, the hall is muddy with useless cleaning products, the seasons change so fast. Selfish travelers hurry to dinner past the iron bars on the window, and the grease of them weights the air, stains the glass. The idea of the house contains no trans fats by law, and no mirrors because of a simple oversight. My sister breaks bread without guilt, and the food stays down. Beyond these soft walls, an economy controls the weather. In here, we have air conditioning and radiators, which announce their presence all winter. And I'm just going to read two more, a longish one and a short one. And the longish one's a little heavy. I'll brace you for it. I was thinking about, now that I'm almost 30, I was thinking about age and how women age, and I was thinking that women's skin, it kind of ages in a lot of ways, but two of those ways are kind of like leather or like paper, depending on the climate of their household, right? So I was thinking about how those things manifest and what causes that. So this is a little about that, and it's called A Woman's Skin. Supple when dry, without life or hair as some misplaced abominations. The house is painted teal, but instead the skin is orange, darker in crevices, folds not nearly soft as the old leather boots I used to use for pillows. Smooth when unfolded, a thin substance used to bear oily lines and laughter, constant sheets of conversation like wind. And by leaves, a woman ages in flakes. Small piles gather at the shoulders. Always the spine is straight and accompanied by the knowledge of ceremonies. The hide tightens to prevent decay when sun has become like too much bathing in the fountain. An article made of this material mounted on high heels with upholstery pulled downward by a constant weight at the hips, her saddle and her cheek, the flap of a dog's ear. And again, the house is either peach or pink or teal. The body gives off a faint aroma of papyrus. Lifelines offer commentary on disharmony and weather. There is something to be said about the blueness of veins and hair that races to match. Visible blood flow, signs of thinning most noticeable in spring. A set of questions about pins or promissory notes set behind eyelids, the knowledge of ceremonies most often preceded by free tickets. Many varied accessories or dinners, dressed, tanned, pictured, made internal yet pliable so that her voice acts as a strap would. Wrapped neatly in cellulose pulp, derived of wood, of rags, of men's glasses, nearsighted and in aqueous suspension, verifying her identity or just another commercial. And this last poem is called Tourists, and it's based on a true story. I have a cat, and yeah, I woke up one morning and there was just like all these strange artifacts that were shoved under the bottom of the blankets. The cat was like burying things in my bed, but they were things that I had never seen before. So I wasn't sure exactly where they came from. And one item in particular just totally caught my attention, so this is about that. It's called Tourists. A Hawaiian tourist broke into our apartment via the fire escape. The cat ate him and buried his lei in our bed. People no longer travel to wander at the known heights of mountains. It's hard to find a cheap hotel room in the city. Still, we can't have tourists taking pictures around here. All these nude factotums selling designer clothing and panacea from the sorts of discount carts one finds unexceptional in the city. A neighbor taught the cat how to burn security tags off shirts and also mix cure-alls. While we can't pay rent, we refuse, the cat and I, to give in to the demands of tourists.